Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we're going to be doing a little bit of technical analysis on Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency markets, and more specifically, we're going to be talking about this little development in Bitcoin price action that has, well, developed over the last 24 hours or so, because as you can see, Bitcoin is currently trading below $5,000, and that's a very interesting price level because Bitcoin hasn't traded this low in over a year. The last time we saw Bitcoin this low was back during the 2017 bull run in the first half of October. It's been over a year since we've seen Bitcoin this low, and I don't necessarily think this is the end of it, guys. I was expecting that we might see some kind of bounce at $5,000, but as you can see, we're already a little bit below it. But of course, just the price action chart alone isn't the only thing we need to look at, because if you come over here to the longs chart, we actually see something interesting. The longs for Bitcoin have been rising quite rapidly, and that's potentially a sign that the bulls are coming to the rescue and going to try and put some kind of support in here for this crashing market, because Bitcoin at the moment is definitely crashing in every sense of the word. So in today's video, we're going to be discussing whether or not Bitcoin's about to put a bottom in, or how much further it's going to go down, and if the rising longs can really start to show the trend that Bitcoin's about to put some kind of bottom in motion. Anyway, without much further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. Like I said, Bitcoin is currently trading around $4,920 and some change. And if we come over here to CoinMarketCap and give it a little refresh, we're going to see Bitcoin is down by nearly 11% on the day. Definitely not a very good day for Bitcoin as far as price action is concerned. Across all exchanges, Bitcoin is currently trading at almost exactly $5,000. Of course, if you're on the Bitfinex chart, for example, we are still trading above $5,000. Coinbase is about $100 lower because we still have that discrepancy with Tether going on right now. And one thing I want to talk about here at the outset of the video, guys, is I really want to address this on an emotional level rather than just a technical level, because I know that the year of 2018 has been very, very, very hard on many of us, guys. I know a lot of people have already lost so much money even before a week ago when we actually crashed below $6,000. I know for a lot of you, this probably feels like the nail in the coffin. If you were considering leaving the market, then maybe this is what has actually finally pushed you over the edge and you want to consider leaving the market, or you have considered leaving the market and you think you're going to, or you're really scared about Bitcoin, or you've lost a lot of money. I've read, guys, I've had something like 50,000 comments left on this channel, which is a humbling number, but I read just about every single one of them. If I give you a heart and a comment, that means I've read it. I do read your comments, and I hear the pain that a lot of you guys are in after this move, and especially back over here when Bitcoin was coming into this tail end of that period of the bear market. We saw Bitcoin not doing very well, of course, and a lot of people were in a lot of pain. If you guys are in pain, I understand it's hard, but guys, you got to remember, money's money. Money can be made back. Just because Bitcoin is crashing doesn't mean that everything else in your life has to be bad. Your life is your life. At least you have that. Now, don't go in the comments and say, well, Jeb must really think the market sucks because he said, well, at least you're alive. I'm just saying that there's more to the world than just the Bitcoin market. If you need, go ahead and leave the market and come back in a couple of months when Bitcoin may be a bit lower. If you guys need to take a break from the market, I highly recommend you do that. Guys, I'm very desensitized to markets. I don't get emotional in markets almost at all. That's why I'm in a very upbeat mood right now, even though Bitcoin is trading lower than it has in 14 months. But if you guys are worried about getting emotional, if you're worried about trading on emotion, if you're getting scared or anything, take a step back and just leave the market for a couple of days. That's what people, or for even a couple of weeks or a couple of months. That's what a lot of people are doing here, and that's perfectly all right. Bitcoin's still going to be here, and Bitcoin's probably going to be staying below $6,000 for another many months. You have time to get back into the market. At least I think so. I don't think Bitcoin's going back above $6,000 in the next couple of months now that we've actually broken it. Anyway, I did want to get that out of the way because I know a lot of you guys are going to be hurting from this move. Just remember that there's always more to life than just a Bitcoin market. Sometimes you got to pull yourself back and go do something productive and something fun and have a little bit of fun with your life. Anyway, now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the actual crypto market recap. Bitcoin, like I said, is trading a little bit over $5,000 and is down by about 11%. XRP is doing very, very well. I have to hand it to the XRP community. XRP has had a phenomenal week as far as it relates to how Bitcoin has been moving. XRP has basically traded sideways through this. You can see, obviously, Bitcoin has not done very well. And clearly, the rest of the altcoin markets have not done very well. We see 4 double-digit gainers. 2 of those are stable coins, so those don't even count. But the rest of the market is extremely red. We see probably 60, 75 double-digit losers. But XRP is only down by about 5%, which is admirable in a market like this. And it has well and truly surpassed Ethereum. We actually have a lot of really important developments in the market over the last couple of days. Of course, Bitcoin breaking $6,000 is the most significant. But XRP passing Ethereum in such a major way. It's ahead by nearly $4 billion right now. That's a really big deal, and that's going to be important when the next bull market starts. I think something just fell on my roof. Sorry about that. Anyway, that's going to be a really big deal when the next bull market starts. I like seeing that strength come out of XRP. It's weird to say strength when it's down 5%, but that is strength compared to what the rest of the market is doing today. XRP very well may be one of the coins that can help bring bullishness back into the market coming over the next 6 months or so on into the next bull market. Because, of course, guys, no matter what happens to Bitcoin, there is going to be another bull market. Bitcoin is worth a lot more than $6,000 and will be nominally in the future. Anyway, like I said, if we scroll down here by change over the last 24 hours, we're going to see that there is a lot of red today. This is what people mean when they say blood in the streets. This is what people mean when they say crash. This is what people mean when they say going to the floor. This is what people mean when they say the market is not doing very well. But of course, like I said, guys, it's all about perspective. Let's go ahead and zoom out on the chart. And I am doing TA in this video, and we are going to get into more TA in a little bit. But I think it's important in times like these to really get a good grasp of perspective and realize just how good we have it, even though in the short term, it certainly doesn't feel like it. As we can see, Bitcoin is trading below $5,000, almost exactly at $5,000 on Bitfinex. But guys, like I said at the beginning of the video, Bitcoin was trading below, Bitcoin only broke $5,000 for the first time about 14 months ago. Before that, Bitcoin had never even gone above $5,000. 16 months before that, Bitcoin had never gone above $3,000. 2 years before that, Bitcoin's all-time high was a little over $1,000, guys. Just because the last year has been bearish for Bitcoin, and by all stretches of the imagination, it has been very bearish for Bitcoin, that doesn't mean, like I've said so many times, and like I will say many times again, that doesn't mean that the underlying fundamentals of the market are any less sound. They're just as strong as they used to be, and in fact, I would argue that they've gotten even stronger over the last year. So just because Bitcoin's going down, one, doesn't mean that you need to panic. It doesn't mean you need to get scared. It doesn't mean that you need to FUD. It doesn't mean you need to get emotional. And it also doesn't mean that Bitcoin is in any trouble whatsoever. The market is, but Bitcoin itself is not. And we're here for making money, of course, but we're also here for this whole crypto revolution that we're going to see come over the next 10 years. Bitcoin only broke $5,000 for the first time in August. I think it was August of 2017. It was early September. No, actually, it was late August. I lived through that. I should remember that. Anyway, we only saw Bitcoin break $5,000 for the first time a little while ago. That was when it hit $5,000. It broke $5,000 in October, of course. Only a little over a year ago did we actually first see that. Imagine what would happen in another year. A lot has happened in this market in the last year. Imagine what the next year is going to bring. Even if the next year brings nothing but bearish price action, or even if the next year only brings sideways trading action, guys, many of you guys are going to live another 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Think about the average life expectancy. The average life expectancy in America, most of you guys, a sizable minority of you guys live in the United States. The United States national life expectancy is like 76 years. You guys, on average, based on my demographics, you're in between the ages of about 25 and 36. So you have plenty of time to live on into the rest of the market and see Bitcoin develop and make a crap ton of money, because Bitcoin is nowhere near mass adoption yet. We're going to see great things coming in the future for Bitcoin, guys. There's a quote that a lot of people like to use when they're talking about markets like these. I don't remember who exactly it's attributed to. I think I've heard people attribute this to Warren Buffett, but they say that stock markets and markets in general are a tool to transfer wealth from the impatient to the patient. So just have a little bit of patience, guys. I think patience is honestly the most valuable lesson that you can learn from markets, bar none. Anyway, with all of that out of the way, let's actually get onto the technical analysis rather than the whatever kind of analysis that was. Anyway, like we said, here on the daily chart, Bitcoin not looking so great. I would call that a blood fall. That's normally what I call it, a little bit of a blood fall. And there's an analogy I want to make before we go on and talk about the longs chart, hopefully coming in and saving us here and propping Bitcoin back up. But that is the analogy that a lot of people, including myself, have used of Bitcoin's bear market now to the Bitcoin bear market in the end of 2014, moving on to the 2015 accumulation phase. And what we saw when we first broke our analogous level of support, $300 in 2014, is analogous to $6,000 in 2018. When we initially broke this, what we saw is we saw about two major fall-offs. We saw one fall-off here, we saw a little bit of a bounce, and granted, we saw kind of a tiny little bounce in the last couple of days. Nothing major, but perhaps you could use the analogy. This is a bit of a stretch, but I'm making a point. And then we saw another more major fall off where we lost about half of the valuation. We'd lost about 50% of valuation between where we broke this level. Where is my measuring stick? There it is. We lost about 50% of our valuation, about 45% of our valuation. If that were to happen again, then what we've seen right now could be something analogous to that, where we saw the initial crash, a little bit of green, and then another crash again, down to about 50% of the actual analogous level that we broke, this case being $6,000. And that's where the level of $3,000 being a level of support comes from. A lot of people have been calling Bitcoin to go to $3,000. I'm not totally convinced it's going to go that low. I could at this point see it going to $4,000, But at the same time, anything's possible, guys. And if Bitcoin did go to $3,000, it would be an almost carbon copy repeat of the 2014-15 bear market. It wouldn't surprise me in a major way. It surprised me a little bit if we went that low. But at this point, since we've already broken $6,000, it's possible. I don't think we have a good fundamental reason to go that low. But now that we have broken $6,000, we do have a technical reason to go much lower. I'm not exactly expecting $5,000 to be the permanent bottom. Of course, it may hold, but as you can see on Coinbase, we're already below that level, and we don't seem to be slowing down all that much. Here on the hourly chart, we're still going down, and in a couple of hours later, after this is recorded and this is uploaded, you guys can go and check the market, and maybe we bounced, maybe we haven't. We'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, like I said, I'm not totally convinced where the bottom is. I'm not calling the bottom right now. $5,000 doesn't seem to be holding, and like I said many times before, we broke $6,000. If we break $6,000, we're headed straight to 5, and within a week, we have. Anyway, now let's go ahead and talk about the longs chart, because as you can see in real time, the longs are continuing to move up. Here on the minute chart, we can see them moving up very, very quickly. Let's put down the 3-minute chart so we get some candlesticks. We can see the longs chart is growing and is rising quite rapidly. Nothing really major. I would like to see this go up even faster to indicate more strength from the bulls and more people buying down here. But I think one of the problems that we're running into is that so many people see that Bitcoin has broken $6,000 and they realize, okay, that was literally the most important technical development on the Bitcoin chart in over 3 months. And I say that with the dictionary definition of the word literally, not a new millennial definition of the word literally. I mean the word literally. That's the most important technical break that we've seen out of Bitcoin in a very long time. And I think a lot of people realize that since that has happened, that completely changes the technical landscape for Bitcoin, and that indicates that we're probably going very low, which is why I'm not really surprised that we went straight to $5,000, and that's exactly the reason why I always called us to go straight to $5,000 if we ever did break 6. And that's what it looks like is happening right now. We're going down to $5,000, and I think what's happening is that since we're seeing so much bearish price action, we have a very clear bearish trend right here. A lot of people, a lot of the bulls are sitting on the sidelines. A lot of the buyers and a lot of the institutional investors, more than likely, are sitting on the sidelines waiting to see where this is going to bottom out. Because one thing that we at least had going for us back here in the last several months is that we had a very clear level of support that we could put our buy orders in. And that was $6,000 because it was very well established. But now we don't really have that. We don't have a floor beneath us that we can expect for Bitcoin to go to, and we really need to establish that. What I'd like to see Bitcoin do is come down and establish some kind of major level of support, bounce there, and set like a double bottom there over the course of a month or so. I want it to come down once, set a bottom somewhere, maybe $4,000 for the sake of argument, bounce, come down there again, set a double bottom so that we have another level of support that we can talk about in the same way we did with the level of $6,000. I very much liked having that floor in the market that we could do TA around, and I'd like to see that be reestablished, because not only would it make the technical analysis far easier, I think it would also bring a lot more confidence back to retail and institutional investors alike. So that's my thoughts on the market right now. I'm not totally convinced that the bottom is in. I don't necessarily think $5,000 is going to hold. Like I said, guys, it's very hard to call this market at the moment because the entire technical landscape has been completely uprooted. So I'm trying to be very vague in my technical analysis while also giving good information that you guys can use in your trading. Anyway, guys, that's basically all we had to talk about today. I would like to see the longs chart continue to rise. As we can see, the longs chart has been continuing to rise in a very, very big way over the last couple of weeks as Bitcoin has been trending downwards. I like that trend. I want that trend to continue. The last thing I want to see is for this to reverse and for shorts to start going up. And that's one of the main things I wanted to also talk about, is that it's actually a pretty good sign that shorts aren't going up faster than they already are. And it's a pretty good sign that longs are going up as fast as they are, because we wouldn't want that going in the opposite direction. That would probably indicate that we'd be going even lower than I think we already are. Anyway, guys, like I said, I am interested to hear your opinions in the comment section down below of what you think is going to happen in this market. I always am. And like I said earlier, I do read every single comment. I try to read every single comment anyway. Sometimes you guys write essays and I have to skim through it, but I do try to read every single comment. If you see that your little comment has a heart on it, and hopefully every single comment under every single video has a heart on every single comment, then that means I did at least see your comment, and I did try to read your comment, and I do try to respond to them. So if you have anything that you want to talk about in the comment section down below, feel free to jump in and comment whatever you want and tell me what you think is going on with the market. And also, if you're interested in joining the Discord server where you can come and chat in person and with our amazing community, we have like 1,500 people in the Discord server now. I really like the Discord server and I'm very happy with it. There's a link to join that in the description down below. And also, you guys have probably noticed that this video is going up a little bit late. That is because I'm still trying to get this internet problem fixed. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I just ordered a new router and it should be here tomorrow. I think that's going to fix the issue. If not, I have a plan to fix this. If that's not the problem, I know what's going to happen. In the next couple of days, the whole internet issue should be fine, and then we'll be back to normal uploads at a normal time, because this video is obviously up much later than I like it to be. Also, one more thing that I want to talk about here at the end of the video is, since I got sick like a week ago and I couldn't record, and also since my internet has been treating me really poorly, to be totally honest. I'm not going to name the ISP I use, but thanks, guys, for not... anyway, I'm joking. I don't think it's their fault. I think I just need a new router. Anyway, with all that in mind, I haven't been able to record videos for the course, but now that I think I'm getting my internet situation fixed, and now that I think I'm hopefully over this cold, I'm able to talk to you guys here today. I should be able to record the last couple of videos for the course, and if you guys are still interested in joining the course before the price rises, that deadline, of course, has been moved a little bit, but in the next couple of days, I'm not going to say, the next week at least, we are going to be launching the next 5 videos for the course, and the price will be rising exactly 24 hours after the announcement video for that goes live. So watch out for that if you're interested in joining CT2A and learning how to do technical analysis on the cryptocurrency markets. There's a link to check that out in the description down below. Anyway, guys, if you guys are still watching after all of my shameless self-promotion, type the name of a bird in the comment section down below, and let's see if we can confuse everyone else who didn't watch to the end. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I do want to thank each and every single one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.